our RJ studio, Radio Spark, the voice of Jaipuria. Today we have with us Sir Anup Chandra Pandey, who assumed charge as Election Commissioner of India on June 9, 2021. He has also been an officer at Indian Administrative Service from 1984 batch, Uttar Pradesh cadre. During the span of around 37 years of dignified Government of India service, Sir Pandey has worked in various ministries and departments at both centre and state level. Born on 15 February 1959, Sir Pandey has a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering from Punjab Engineering College and a master's degree in material management from Punjab University. He has a keen interest in history and holds a doctorate of philosophy in ancient Indian history from Magadha University. Welcome, sir, and it has been a great honor for the both of us to be interacting with you today.
Thank you.
So, sir, would you like to describe your experience working as an Election Commissioner of India vis-a-vis working as a bureaucrat in centre and state government? Also, would you like to mention some of the biggest challenges that you have faced and your suggestions for the same?
Well, I have been in the Indian Administrative Service, and because of that, there has been a lot of diversity in my career. I have done district assignments. I have done various corporations. I have been in Government of India. I have been in state government in various positions, including the post of Industries Commissioner, Industries and Infrastructure Commissioner, and retiring as Chief Secretary of Uttar Pradesh. I also held important posts in Government of India as Joint Secretary Labour and also as Additional Secretary Defence. I was also involved with environment with the National Green Tribunal, and now I have been here for almost 2 years as Election Commissioner.
Yes.
So I think all these postings, they have had their own varied challenges. So, but elections certainly are a big challenge, and I would say that last year we held elections to 5 states.
Yes, sir.
Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Uttarakhand, Manipur, Goa. So they were a big challenge.
Yes, sir.
So the challenge is not only conducting the elections, but challenge is reaching out to the lowest level, and that is something very important. No voter has to be left behind. So recently in Gujarat elections, so there was only one voter in Gir forest. We sent a team of 10 people to fetch his vote. So the idea is that it has to be accessible election, and it has to be a participative election, and no voter who is willing to vote should be left out.
Yes. Everybody should be included.
Yes.
For sure.
Sir, as we know that you are working for the betterment of the India's electoral and the political ecosystem. So what would be your advice for the improvement in the India's political and electoral ecosystem?
Well, I would say we have 3 major issues right now for making it more participative. One is the urban apathy. So urban apathy, I would say that we need to, especially the educated people, they vote less. In the rural areas, the voting percentage is more. In the uneducated, it is more, but educated, it is less. So we need to maybe communicate more with them to develop their interest in the democracy, because otherwise democracy will not succeed. So that is one. Second is the youth apathy. So in young voters, somehow we feel that there is scope for working more with the young voters. So the age of voting has been reduced from 21 to 18. Now we have had a recent amendment in the constitution whereby now there are 4 qualifying dates. So every year there used to be on 1st of January the electoral roll was there. Now there would be 4 electoral rolls, one on 1st January, one on 1st April, another on 1st July, and one would be on 1st of October. So the idea is that anybody who is born in between these dates should also find his way in the voters list to increase the voter enrollment. But at the same time, we need to engage more fruitfully with the young voters to ensure that their participation increases. And third is obviously the migrant workers. So migrant workers, there are a lot of cases where migrant workers are unable to vote because they cannot come back again and again. So that also is an aspect which we are in constant dialogue with all the stakeholders to ensure that migrant voting also increases.
Even the students who study outside.
Yes,
their
students
city,
also.
yeah.
Migrants would mean the students also. People who are in small cities or maybe in states where the enough facilities are not there, so they go for studying outside, so they also can vote at the place where they want.
So today we see that the country's primary focus is on SDG and Sustainable Development Goals, and one of its critical agendas is the equality and inclusivity in terms of economy, in terms of education, and in terms of health. So as the head of the state bureaucracy, what was your experience in these areas, and any suggestion if you like to put forward in these domains?
In a democracy, the most important thing is to include everybody, to ensure that everybody has right and access to all the facilities, whether it is education or health. And that is why my appeal to the young voters is that you should be a part of the process which elects the governments so that you have a more responsive government, you have a more participative government, and once all these stakeholders are involved in this, once we have more participation, once we have people going and expressing themselves in more number, so then the democracy will thrive.
Yes, definitely.
Sir, as we all know that India's IAS officers work so much earnestly and with full dedication, and I think they are able to do so just because of the practices and trainings which they get at Labasna and during their tenure. So sir, what are those trainings which can be useful for the management students like us also?
No, you see, the most important thing besides the techniques is your attitude. So you should have a positive framework of mind, and you should all the things they can be solved. The most important thing is the behavioral attitude, the human attitude, how you can involve people in a more participative way and ensure that ultimately you have the teamwork, you have the I would say cooperation of your entire team. Leadership doesn't mean being a leader yourself. Leadership basically means that you enable other people to achieve their objectives. And what they say is OD by ID, that is organizational development by individual development.
Human resource, I think, is something that really explains this a lot as a concept of organization development and leadership.
Yes.
So sir, if I talk about India's youth, then I would say that India is renowned in the world for its youth population, and the youth population of India stands for the 40% of the India's total population. So what would be your message to the India's first time voters for the purpose of strengthening our democratic power?
Well, I would say that youth should get involved more in democracy and express their opinion to ensure a more responsive leadership and to reap the demographic dividend that our youthful society is rightly entitled to. Thank you.
Sir, your words are truly acting as a stimulation and a motivation factor for all of us. That's why we don't want this session to be ended soon. But we know you have a busy schedule and lots of responsibility. So my last question would be, sir, I want to hear a key message to the youth of this country?
Key message to youth would basically be that you should work hard to ensure that our country thrives.
Thank you so much, sir, for this very insightful session. I hope that those who have watched or heard this session had a really great time as well. Thank you so much, and this is us signing off from Radio Spark, the voice of Jaipuria.